Hello everyone. This time we're going to be looking at how to answer questions concerning mail merge in Microsoft Word. What you should remember is that mail merge is a feature in Microsoft Word that lets us send a single letter to multiple recipients, or one letter can be easily sent to many receivers without avoiding typing the same letter for each individual, like it can be done manually. So in this case, we're going to go through UNAB's way of answering, because this question is very common with UNAB, especially paper 2, and it may also be asked in paper 1 in terms of defining it and then maybe describing its meaning. So with all that, I think we are all set to go. So in this case, I'll be looking at the softwares now. So I've made up this folder here concerning support files, and this folder here is having our question paper as well. At this time I don't have a hard copy because in most cases most of the work for ICT subsidiary will come in soft copies. So I have in the support file folder I have two files. One is called mail, another one is called question. So the question file is the one concerning or having our question paper. So in this case, if I'm to open the program, I'm using Microsoft Word 2016 is the software I'm going to be using, and hope this is the same software you may be using, or you may be using a different version of Word, but all remains the same. The feature will always remain the same. So I'll open my support file as usual, then I'll try to look at this question in Microsoft Office Word 2016. So here's the question, and now it has this mail merge question in MS Word. This is version 2016, Microsoft Word 2016. So look at this question. They are saying, using the word processing software of your choice, launch the file mail.docx and answer the following questions. Now the file mail, this refers to the file name, and then docx refers to the file extension. So these letters after the dot. Now how do we get this? If I close this, if I happen to close this and I look at this file, so like I told you last time, that to check for properties or about that file, come right click on top of this file, then look for the option called properties here. So it is always the last option called properties. So here the file type or type of file is Microsoft Word document. So its abbreviation in bracket in terms of the extension is .docx. So that's why the question is saying open the file mail.docx. So now the first question is saying change the heading of the letter. Change the heading of the letter to font Algerian and 16 points. Sometimes you may fail to interpret these practical questions here because of not understanding the English being used with the examiners. So if you are good in practical, I may think of looking at this being very simple for you, but if somebody is not accustomed to, then that person will get lost on the way. Now when you look at this, they are saying font Algerian, and then they are also talking about 16 points. So one of them is a font type, then another one is what called a font size. So 16 points is to be set as font size. So the other question says make the reference in blue text color, then our major interest is using mail merge feature, generate letters to be sent to each of the following people in the table below. So this is the table of recipients, and we have very many recipients here. I have a lot of them. So I have a lot of recipients, and each of them is supposed to get a copy of letters, the particular fields being asked for in the letter we're going to be looking at right now. So try to open this by double clicking. Open. You can see this is our letter. Now there are two ways of opening. I told you, either double click or right click and then say open. So either way is the same, as long as you have opened. So this is our letter. When we look at this, we have to insert merged fields to represent where the letter is going, and then to whom we are writing the letter. So when we look at this field, we have this field of address, and then also have the to field. Here we're supposed to put the name and the title. So maybe we shall begin with the title, and then the name will come last. So we shall be switching between the two programs, because one is having our soft copy of the question paper, and then the other is having our so-called soft copy of the extract or the file. This may act as our answer sheet physically when we are dealing with physical examinations. Then this acts as our question paper. So to begin with, we shall first of all begin with part A. So after opening this or loading this file called mail.docx, or we simply call it docs, I can now switch to our first question, saying change the heading of the letter to font Algerian and then 16. So this is our heading. This is our heading. May also include this, and then to change this font to Algerian, initially when we select this, we shall see that the font is Times New Roman, and now we are going to look for Algerian, just like you can see. So after switching that, they've said we should make this font size 16 points, just like that. So include this and make it 16. So the other question, if I'm to switch, I think you recognize that you realize there are two documents here, just like you can see this and this, and their thumbnails on the taskbar. So look at this question paper, and then behind this is our answer sheet or our extract. So we are saying here we are saying make the reference in blue text color. So you have the reference is this line here. So we are going to look at font color is the same as text color, and we shall go through and look for blue. So you should be able to read the name of the color before applying it. Don't just assume that maybe this is blue, or otherwise we end up putting purple and fail the question immediately. So we shall change it to blue. Remember, keep on saving changes just by clicking the save button or clicking the file and say save, or simply using the shortcut Ctrl S. Then part B of the question says, part C of the question, which is our major area of interest. We are looking at this, the assembly using mail merge feature, generate letters to be sent to each of the following people in the table. Now with mail merge, I'll come and first of all remove this, or you may leave it for your case, but if you put in mind that we have two fields here like title and name, then we shall also put the address of this person we are sending the letter to. So now we shall say mailings, and then under mailings we have this mail merge feature, or we are saying start mail merge. So what we are dealing in, we may have email messages, or we may have envelopes, labels, directory, have normal documents, step-by-step mail merge wizard. I may use the wizard for beginners. It's very easy to use wizards. As a wizard is just a feature in Windows or in the operating system which guides a user through successive step-by-step measures, or you deal with the step-by-steps of a certain process and accomplish it by this program called a wizard guiding you. So like there are 6 steps. We look at step 1 of 6. Here they are saying here you choose what type of document you are looking on. You choose letters, then when click next they will say how do you want to set up your letter. They are saying use the current document or start from a template, start from an existing document. So remember, we are going to be sending using the current document we are trying to see here. So now this means we shall choose use the current document, then click next. This is next, this is previous. So when come to previous, come back to select the document, then next. We have the next step is selecting recipients. Selecting recipients. Like I can see, select recipients. So when select recipient, can use an existing list, or you can select from an Outlook contacts, or type a new list. Since we don't have an existing list, we don't have Outlook contacts, we shall choose to type a new list. Then here we shall click on create. So this dialog box will be displayed, but before this I need to minimize this so that I can look at both of them. So here we shall be able to look at the list as well as our answering field to make it a bit easy for you to understand. So when you look at this, I'll be looking at this, then I'll be creating my list here. So I'll edit fields to match the ones in the table of recipients. Here I'll say customize columns. Then I'll first of all delete whatever is unnecessary. So I'll need only 4 of them, like the title, then this name to almost be name, not first name. So I'll need to edit this. So and say rename, we shall just delete this and remain with name, like here in this recipients table. Then we shall change this to school. We shall change this to school. After changing this to school, we shall change this one to address. Address. We shall change this to address. So before we go further, we shall need to try this. So when try to look at shall need the titles. We have the first person, let me just extend this one the other side and be zoom out. Then I'll reduce this as well such that I can get it clearly. So I'll try to zoom in a bit, and then I'll click on this create button, then I'll edit these columns again. So I'll come back to you after editing this. Some of you might think it's very hard, but it's very simple. It's just now in case you maybe accidentally delete this column, yet you need 4 of them, like title, name, school and address. Just click on the add button to add the other deleted column like address, then click OK. So we shall rename this as school, then we shall have this edited or renamed as just name. So after this we shall feed in the information required. So we shall correct this spelling, address, then shall click OK. So the title for the first is Mr. Make sure I type the way exactly. So here I'm using tab key to move to the next field. So I'll say Mr. Oduoli Ayubu. Then next I'll say this is the school is Malongo SS. The address will be P.O. Box 1317 Mayuge. So since this is repeated several times, we just need to copy this and I press the tab key. So in case you cannot use the tab key, I'm going to be showing you the other method to use. This is Mrs. Namlawa Rose, then this is Creamland, High School. Then I'll have the address is Ginger with that. So here after finishing this at the end, you just click new entry in case you cannot use the tab key at this very point. So when you click new entry, they bring you another field having the same columns. So here we are looking at Mr. Maganda sauce. So we have Maganda sauce, then the school is Mbale SS, and the address is P.O. Box 554 Mbale. Now I've forgotten up here, the box number is 123 Ginger. Then I'll click new entry, then I'll add Mr. Kakuru. So make sure you are very careful with whatever is on the recipient's list is what you should type. Kakuru Bernard, Kakuru Bernard, St. Mary's, St. Mary's College, address P.O. Box 322 Kampala. Then the other person is Miss Akelo Joy. So it's Miss Akelo Joy. This small letter leave it the way it is to avoid future mistakes. So this is Gulu SS, then the address is PO Box A95 Gulu. The other person is Miss Kadama Julie. Miss Kadama Julie of St. Peter's SS. Then the address is PO Box 143 in Park District. Then I may also adjust this to enlarge so that all the information is clearly seen. Then last person is Mr. This is a full stop dot Mr. Mudola Fred. The school is Njeru SS. Then the address is PO Box 245 Jinja. So have all these fields. Now when click OK, they will ask us to save the address list. So to avoid mistakes, we maybe I'll request you to save it on desktop. So when you save it, the address list, you can say recipients. Then we shall save it just on desktop. So it is already generated here, and now we can click OK. But the other issue, there are some options here. You can sort, filter, find duplicates. So like try to find duplicates. They're saying there are no items to show in this view, so meaning there are no duplicate items. So here, not waste time, just click OK. Now here we go. So after that, that is the other method of using the wizard. Now there is still another method. I can maybe tell you how to make mail merge or merging. Remember, this is one letter I want to send to that list of recipients. Now when check our recipients list is just saved here as an access or a database field here. So I mean a database document here. So now we have been looking at how to create a list using the wizard, or how to create mail merge using the wizard. So let us complete this. Now we shall insert the title and the name here, then the address will be fixed here. So let us first click here, and then still under the mailings option or the mailings menu, we shall click insert merge fields. Now when insert merge fields, they bring for you the fields in the other list you have created, dropping down here. So we shall say include the title, then click insert merged field, then we shall include also the name, then here we shall include a merge field called address. Now you can customize this to add some space here. You can also add space between these two fields. Now to complete this, we shall have the other last option now. So we have this option called finish and merge, and we have three options. You can either edit individual documents, print documents, or send email messages. So this time we're going to look at edit individual documents. Now after clicking here, it will generate a new document having mails or having letters for each and every person in the list. So here we shall click on all. So after clicking on all, then you shall see the software generating several documents for each and every person in the list. Just look at this. Our area of interest is this. So the first letter goes in for this person. So this is the title, and then this is the name of the person. So then the address is just here as mentioned or stated in the list. So that is one. Now there are 7 of them. When we look at page 1 out of 7. So when you go scrolling down, you'll find the second person is Namlawa, then the third person is Maganda, then the fourth person is Kakuru Bernard, plus their addresses such. So that is now letters being created individually for each of them, avoiding typing each of the letters. So I'm closing this. I'm not save. Okay, I will not save this. Now this is our original copy. So the other option is when you start mail merge and choose letters here. When choose letters, then after choosing letters, may come here and say select the recipients, then type new list. If you have not used the wizard or the step-by-step guideline, so when say type a new list, then they'll bring for you the new address list dialog box. Now since we have a new list, an already created list, we can use this option. Just that is in case you have an already existing list already created in your machine on your computer. So you can choose from Outlook. So when say already existing list, then remember we saved it on desktop, and just come and look for it here called recipients, then double click it. So double click it, just come here and begin inserting individual fields as per the letters, then come finish mail merge, then click on edit, choose the all ready button, then click OK. So the letters will be generated individually. Letters will be generated individually.